Every robot movie has that plot. The AI decides when it becomes sentient, the first thing every movie AI realizes humans are the problem. Gotta eliminate them.
And they are not wrong.
And what's ironic is I don't know if either of you have watched the 100 or the 100,
No,
depending on where you're at.
I have not. Neither.
His character in that, this could function as the prequel to that. His character in that survives that apocalypse and ends up back down on a planet. It's a great show. It's on Netflix. You can watch all of it. But it's very much like, yeah, as soon as this AI stuff realizes it doesn't need us, it's going to wipe us all out. Now, is harvesting super intelligence from bull sharks the way to go? Maybe. Maybe not. It's one option.
I mean, that's thinking. All right, okay. The one thing I respect about him is that's thinking outside the box. If you're an AI, right, and you've gone somewhat sentient, and you're thinking to yourselves, I just can't wait. When I get fully sentient, I'm gonna run over this world.
I'm gonna eliminate humans because they're the problem.
It's not going to just look at. It's like, what are the possibilities? Bombs, this, that. It will never consider harvesting bull shark brains to make human super soldiers. That will never be on an AI's menu.
And that's why they fail.
Yeah, and they say later on that like his stuff isn't in the cloud, and you can't make phone calls unless you're up on the surface. So this is an isolated. Yep, and that's because those AI are out there.
Yep.
And so when the AI starts storming it, when they're on their digital horses riding around shooting up the city like a bunch of Wild West cowboys,
yes,
they're these really smart humans like that dude from The Guest, Dan Stevens, just rolling out ready to combat them, and it's just scaring the crap out of these AI these horses that are being ridden by AI creations. And then we have a war, and then we have a great movie.
Then you have Westworld.
Yes, exactly. Ed Harris comes out. We're like, whose side are you on? It's just Michael Beach comes out. Wait, why you got a Henley on? It's just a whole world, right? This is such a smart plan.
My concern is it's the beginning of a smart plan. It's a reaction. It might not be a smart plan. It's a reaction to a legitimate threat. Okay, yes, AIs when they take over might eliminate us. Is the idea really he's just going to make itself smarter in order to what? Be prepared for the AIs, to outthink the AIs, to battle the machine apocalypse?
Limitless. He's going full limitless, and you can see all that. He's going full Chuck.
Lucy, listen, they all start that way.
I think his intentions are he doesn't know what's coming. He knows that the machines are going to adapt and become better. He just wants to be as good as possible, as smart as possible, so that when that day comes, he's got a chance. And his intention seems to be to let everyone share in this power. We can all be gods. Is how he ends up with.
We can all be gods. And then her with the boob shirt, like, oh, we're monsters. Yes. Yeah, okay, we're all taking you very seriously, Dr. Misty Calhoun.
Wonderful name. It's my favorite name.
It is.
They missed a big opportunity here, though, because when he's explaining his plan, Trent Slater knows his plan, Aaron knows his plan,
Josh
knows the plan, Daniel knows the plan, Mike knows the plan.
Does not.
The only person who doesn't is Misty, and they should have just put the camera on her when he's monologuing and just have her pull a face, just like, what? Like what? Like just utter disbelief, because the whole time she's rolling with it. If I'm a bio shark engineer and I get brought to a ship with no food, and I'm walking around, I'm hungry, and this guy starts telling me about an AI revolution, how we're going to become smarter from bull sharks, I'm going to be confused. I'm going to have some questions.
You're quietly backing towards the exit. That's what you're doing.
That's it. She does a little eye roll, but she's stood perfectly still, arms folded, and just a little eye roll, and then continues to listen rather than, I don't know, running away.
Keep the camera on Michael Beach as he chews all of the scenery. There's not much there to chew because it's a very simple set. But this whole monologue of like, yes, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, as he just gets crazier and crazier and crazier, you just let him run with it. And he, like I said, he is a guy who can deliver some very heavy, dramatic monologues as well. This past season on The Rookie, they gave him never mind, that's a long story, but he had to deal with some very heavy dialogue, and he does that very well. Waiting to Exhale, he's the one who has to tell Angela Bassett he's been cheating on her, and he's leaving her. leading to her throwing the cars in the Lexus and setting it on fire, which is, of course, iconic. But he can handle all that stuff. I absolutely believe in this case, he read the script and was like, oh, she's a shark movie. I got it. Let me handle this monologue. And he just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and he clearly is enjoying himself in this scene.
Yeah, he's having fun throughout the whole film.
Yes.
I mean, when he's on screen, you cannot take your eyes off of Michael Beach. He is the reason this film got released, I think. Without Michael Beach, I don't know what we'd be talking about.
The shooting location's beautiful. You know, he went to Cape Town for 2 weeks, said all these lines in his sleep, wore a chunky cardigan, Hanley buttoned up.
No, rented a motorcycle and probably rode it around. He is very much a biker and will ride motorcycles wherever he goes. So
hit those coastal roads that are just beautiful that we see earlier in the film.
100%.
You know he was cruising around just for a free trip out there, and then reunite with the director he had worked with before. So he's just wearing great looking cardigans and dropping monologues like they're nothing.
Yeah. And let's talk about drinking the vial of fluid. The prop work.
Is it drinking? The vial of fluid?
It's almost chewing.
Slurping whatever is in there. And kind of just that whole sequence. Because it could be the director could have been like, hey, we just need you to ingest this. And he's like,
what is it? Don't ask.
Watch this. And it's like doing the most complicated Jello shot you've ever seen, and the struggle, and then they're like, oh, now make it look like you're in some sort of pain while we flash blueprints to make it look like you're getting smarter.
I wish you would have done Eddie Griffin's eyes from The New Guy. Remember, you got to get the crazy eyes. I wish you would have done that. Just busted those out.
Word.
DJ Qualls should have been in this movie. DJ Qualls should have been Aaron. What do you think?
I could see that.
I don't have a problem with that casting. That would.
I mean, at the end of the film, Aaron says his old job was on Silicon Valley, and at that point, I'm thinking, you do remind me of Thomas Middleditch. At the end of the, but yes, and we meet our last new cast member in this chapter. I say meet. He's suddenly there. Josh has yet to be in the film, and he's been hiding somewhere.
What is Josh's deal? What's his job?
Sinister leering, I think.
He harvests stuff.
Because Aaron, I get, like, Aaron's at the computers, and after having been tossed in the water before, and, like, when they walk into the lab, we hear Michael Beach saying to Aaron, I really wish you would stop complaining.
Yeah, it's great.
I want that
You're
argument. Fine. I want the beginning of that argument. I want the two...
Or was that them not realizing they were on camera, and Michael Beach just telling that dude, like, hey, I really wish you would stop complaining.
Oh, no, that's the tail end of Durant pushing Aaron into the water. Like last scene, and he's still complaining about that. About like, better get a raise doing that. I'd love that detail. Don't they come back? They start the scene where they're still referencing the previous one. I really liked that little moment between the two of them.
I want their full argument. Aaron's in there looking at the computers. Durant walks in with his cardigan, and they just get into an argument about being tossed in the water. That's the 20 minutes I want. That's the hour I want. Not Misty Calhoun watching Trent Slater, Trader Slant. Welding.
Sleeveless welding, yeah.
Sleeveless welding.
There is a whole deleted scene in that room of the sleeveless welding.
What is he welding?
It's the graphite rings for the fence, the electric fence.
Okay, all right.
I don't know what he's doing with it. He's repairing it or attaching some wire to it. I don't know. There is a whole
flexing his arms, man. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, there is a deleted scene which I think is supposed to be kind of a meet cute, the two of them flirting. But if anything, it puts a nail in the coffin. There is no romance in this film because there's just awkward silences between the two of them. It's a well cut scene, because you see Trent's wall of spanners behind him, which is nice call back to Deep Blue Sea. But it's just the two of them.
Yes, tools. Yes.
It's just the two of them. Like, Trent says he does the day-to-day work. He runs the day-to-day, which includes the sharks. He used to do some condition training with dolphins. That's what led him to working on Achilles. And Misty asks him some questions. He won't tell anything because he signed an NDA. And so she asks some personal information, and he says, I used to be in the military. He does not elaborate any further than the military.
Say what branch, just in
Nothing,
the military.
Just the military. ...
Okay. Coast Guard.
He's a man of mystery.
He's portrayed by Chris Pratt in Zero Dark 30. I don't know. He could be any role in the military. He can't talk about it.
Listen, he's there for biceps and not much else.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on Misty's brain? Because she's not, when she's watching him weld, she doesn't have typically in some of these movies, right, you're biting your lip or you're kind of like, ooh, check out that person. She's just glaring at Trent.
Yeah. She's like, oh, hey, biceps. I bet, when those sparks hit his unsleeved biceps, it's causing him some pain. If he was smart, he would have some sort of protective gear on his arms.
This is true.
That's what she's thinking?
That's what I would be thinking. And then I would go back to, biceps.
But the whole purpose is to set up that acetylene torch for her to use later in the film. This is, it's Chekhov's acetylene torch. But it's not really set up, it's just seen.
I've welded in the past, and I succeeded in, doing the welding I needed to do, but also setting my foot on fire.
Yeah, it's not a safe thing to do with or without sleeves.
It's not.
But sleeves are advised.
I had sleeves on, but I did set my foot on fire.
Are you okay?
Trent Slater
Yeah.
is a total tough guy, though, isn't he? That kind of.
He's a movie tough guy.
Yes, movie tough.
Yeah. So in this movie, I weld without sleeves.
Me, Trent, me weld.
Yeah.
You, Misty, you ogle.
I wish they had a song playing, like "Here We Go Again," like "Here I Go," something rock metal, like rock metal.
It's not a ton of music in this chapter. I did enjoy, not to go backwards, but man, the cold open and then the opening title sequence with the Deep Blue Sea song in there.
The James Bond opening sequence, yes.
It is. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And what blows my mind, right? Daniel Savra, she grabs onto that shark's fin and gets pulled away from it. That's probably the most impressive shot of the film. Seeing that, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, she just really grabbed onto a shark. This lady is in the water.
CGI in this one is not as good as it is in the previous one.
This is true.
No.
Well, they had a much lower budget for this film, so they did the best with what they could.
Yeah, with inflation, it's probably like let's see, 20 20 times less.
So
there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a tiny budget.
The shark eavesdropping, because we get shark eye through porthole, eavesdropping on Durant's conversation and Durant's key. I can only assume the shark is like, oh, there's the key. I'll need that later.
Yes. Okay, yes. That's the happiest I was first time I watched this was seeing that shark eye at the window. I was delighted at that shot.
Yes.
And
we have to assume it's Bella, right?
Oh yeah, definitely Bella. Bella's watching.
Yes,
Bella
is the only shark we ever see.
I became less of a fan of Daniel Kim in this scene because before he's like, we're married, we do PDA, yeah, and so he's always
that's an exact line from the film.
He's munching on, he's stealing shark gummies. But then he's like, yeah, well, the line that annoys me the most is... Can I
guess?
Yeah, what?
You're going to find out soon anyway?
Yes!
Yeah! I hate that line. This is the only reason why I'm telling you this. Otherwise, it would still be a secret.
Oh, that's so annoying.
You should not trust me.
He's not a great guy.
No. The bad guy. I'm glad he dies.
And then 7 months.
7 months.
7 months, and he's been handing over her research to Durant without telling her. That is, and in her reaction or non-reaction of like, when it was scientists in movies. It's always, he's going to fund the research. He's going to fund the research. He's going to fund the research for 5 years. We got to do it because he's going to fund the research. I really feel like at that point she would have been like, you have been stealing my research for 7 months and giving it to this crazy man. No, I'm out. Where's the exit? Where's the boat? I am out of here. I'm done with you.
They are recently married, so he has been doing this during the planning of their wedding.
Yes.
And during the wedding, I don't know. And I love that the reason he gives for not telling her is he knew she'd be hesitant because of Durant's shady reputation. So, which I love the wording of it. I love that Daniel's aware of this shady reputation and plowed along anyway. Just carried on. But yeah, it's just fine.
As he points out, like Durant's company has been sanctioned multiple times by the International Anti-Doping League because they create performance-enhancing drugs.
Captain
so
America.
why
Yeah.
would you get in bed with this dude?
Yeah. And then lie about it for 7 months.